what you get? How are you living? What are you giving? If excellence is what you see, then excellent is who you be. What are you pursuing? It's all up to you and when you come.
Hello, 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 beloved. Dr. Catherine E. James here, bringing you For the Love of It, a weekly show designed with the sole purpose of adding more love into the world, one episode at a time. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your precious time with me. I am grateful to have you join now, whether you're live or you watch the replay on YouTube. Either way, I am grateful for your time. It is one of the most precious commodities we have. We don't get more of it. So when you spend it to me, it's not lost on me. Appreciation follows that. I absolutely, unequivocally love engagement. So I encourage you to dial in. The numbers are below. And dial into any one of those numbers, 313-868-0342, 868-4336, 868-0351. Call in early. The call-in subject is always up to you. Whatever you decide to talk about, we can talk about. Let me get back to my script before I lose my place here. For the love of it, we'll take on many forms. We just don't ever know what Papa has in store for us. Everything, however, will be anchored in Luke 10:27. Love the Lord thy God with all of thy heart, mind, soul, and strength, and thy neighbor, wait on it, as thyself. Sometimes we miss that part, as thyself. It's assumed we're going to love ourselves. And so, beloved, that is my life's mandate and my life's intention, that every soul would know love and know that they are loved. That's what I do with my time, with my space, with my resources, with my energy, is spread the message of loving you first. That's not narcissism and it's not selfishness. It's just being responsible for the gift of you. Love you thoroughly. We don't want to give our responsibility over to someone else to fill a void or fill a place that only we can fill. We have that responsibility. Everything else is bonus. So, to that end, each conversation we facilitate, all the tools and strategies we share, the guests we have on the show, and the actions we invite you to take are all intended to lead you and I back to live out the assumption of Luke 10:27. That we're going to love the Lord thy God with everything that we are, with all of our being, and our neighbor like we love ourselves. Papa assumes that we're going to love ourselves. Papa assumes that, and it's from that place then that we love on others. So, as we move forward to our conversation for today, again, I want to invite you to call in early, call in about whatever conversation you like to have, particularly around this notion of loving ourselves well. Consider, what would it be like in our world if love was a non-negotiable? If love was non-negotiable, if there was no question as to whether or not we're going to love, if there was no question as to whether or not we're going to show up, we're going to respond, we're going to react, we're going to be motivated, our intentions are driven from this notion of love. So, love has all kinds of definitions. So I'm going to talk a little bit about two of them. One, as a noun, love is a strong feeling, personal feeling, an attachment or a deep affection. A personal feeling, an attachment, or a deep affection for someone, something, right? So that's the noun. The verb is, love is an action, being in action. And it's based on a conscious decision to value others. So let me just talk a little bit about, and this is off topic, but it's something that's very important to me. In the West, we promote this notion of being in love. The euphoric experience of being in love. Okay, that has its place. It helps us with coupling, and it helps us with mating. But the in love experience, it's not for the long haul, and it's not the thing that allows us to weather storms well. Because the in love experience is about a euphoric experience. It's about how I feel about you today. It's really more about whether I like you or not. We don't build solid relationships on the emotions that can take us back and forth. I'd rather you choose to love me. That means you love me when you don't like me. You love me when I done got on your nerves. You love me when you might want to knock me upside the head, right? That means you're going to love me regardless. That you're going to press in when I'm acting out of pocket. That you're going to still be for me even though we might have had a little bit of a rift. That means it's a conscious decision for my betterment. So that's a mature love. That's the kind of love that I'm promoting. I don't care as to whether or not I'm ever in love with my love, right? So my husband and I met when I was 15 years old. 45 years later, we have a mature love. Am I in love with him? Right now I am. I probably wasn't last month. And I'm sure I wasn't last year. But that's okay. Have I chosen to love him for 45 years? Absolutely. I will take that any day over euphoria that's based on situations, external feelings. That's my personal belief. A mature love says, and I'm going to love you even when I don't like you. That was for free. That was for free. So, love is an action based on a conscious decision to value others. How do I want to say it? I'm a 9/10 half full kind of girl. I had to learn to be that. And that's why I park is what I prefer. I wear blue rosy colored glasses because I believe in people first. You have to give me a reason to not believe in you. You have to give me a reason to not believe in you. I believe in you because you are created, handcrafted, a masterpiece from the throne room. So I believe in Papa's beloved. I choose that. But I was raised on Mac and Holcomb. If anybody know, you know. So I'm not gullible. So it's a choice to believe that. But I will take those glasses off quickly and act accordingly. I will adjust quicker than you can blink when I have the evidence that says, oh, you're not to be trusted or you're not to be whatever. But I get to live from this 9/10 half full, and it blesses my soul to not be side-eyeing people and, to be in suspicion of people, because you know what? Then I'm going to have to experience all of that. All right, that was for free. But what would it be like, beloved, to live in a world if your love and being loving and receiving love, the expectation of it all was a non-negotiable? I'm just saying that it's a non-negotiable for me. Love is a non-negotiable. I had a beautiful plane ride back 4 hours or so from Aruba a couple of days ago. And the interesting thing is this. I set an intention to meet God's beloved everywhere that I go. I set an intention to make have an encounter that's life-changing and transformational. And more often than not, I do. And so I had one of those on the plane ride back with the stewardess. The interesting thing is this. I changed my seat the day before, or maybe the night before or the day of, I changed my seat. And you know, as we were talking, I discovered that she too was just assigned to the plane ride the night before. It was intended that we would spend hours connecting human to human from different worlds, but different experiences. So we met in a place of love. What would it be like to live the kind of life where you meet in a place of love? I won't have it any kind of way. If I can't be in relationships where there's rich love, I won't be in those relationships. I'm not talking about romantic or intimacy in those ways, but I am talking about this idea of a conscious decision to value others. Love is a conscious decision to value. I endeavor to value humans, God's beloved, those who he took time to breathe the breath of life into them, and we became living souls, pneuma. So we have divinity flowing within us. Now, we don't always act like it. We don't always act like it, but it's there nonetheless. So since it's there, we might as well leverage. Since it's there, we might as well take advantage of it. Since it's there, we might as well lean into it. Since it's there, we might as well get the most out of it. And love is the secret weapon. It's the equalizer. It's the thing that will help to bring it forth. So we don't have to look far for love. We don't have to look far, because God is. We have divinity flowing within us. All we have to do is look within, and there it is. Look within and know that it is for you. Look within and bring it out. And you know what? Whatever we focus on grows. Whatever we lean into, we get more of. And as we give it out, it comes back. It's a win-win, y'all. That's a win-win. That's a win-win. Love and loving and being loved is a win-win. We cannot lose when it's love. Now, people put things on love like real love, healthy love, safe love. If we have to qualify it, it is not love. Love doesn't need to be qualified, added to, pumped up, or cleared up. Love is as it is, and it's sufficient enough to stand on its own. So real love, that's not love if we were saying, right, it's real. No, just love. It's sufficient all by itself. And so when we think about this notion of love and loving, recognize the presence of love right where you stand in you. Recognize the presence of love right where you stand in Papa, the creator of the universe, Elohim and El Shaddai, the all-powerful God, right? Emmanuel, the God that's with us. Jehovah Shalom, the God of peace. Recognize love in he who created you. And you were created from a place of love. Endeavor to recognize love in others. Recognize the love that you experience from and within others and add to it. It's a win-win if we recognize and add to, and I expect love. I'm just saying. I expect to love, to be able to offer love, to be able to share love. I expect it, and I expect to receive it back, because sowing and reaping is real. And it's a principle that we don't get out of life, we don't get away from. So because I am going to love, I'm going to find an opportunity to love, to be love in action. I know that I will be loved back. I don't want to live any kind of day where love is not a part of it. I choose not to. So even if I got to go in the streets to the store and smile really hard at someone and receive the radiation of smiling back, which I don't have to, but it's not, what's the word? How do we say it? It's not beyond me too. It's not beyond me too. And so I invite you to live a life of love. So a self-love tip. I wanted to make sure, and again, I want you to call in and ask a question. We still have a few minutes left where we can ask some questions. So feel free to call in or just make a comment. What has been your experience of love? How do you love you? If you were to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you make a conscious decision to value you? How well do you make a conscious decision to care for you? How well do you make a conscious decision to be for you? Look, no one is a bigger cheerleader for me than me. No one. And I don't expect anyone to be. I know me better than anyone knows me, so I ought to. But I also am the one who's going to hold me accountable. No one holds me more accountable than me. But I don't hold myself accountable by beating myself up. There's some literature that says we're our own worst enemy and we're our own worst critic. I am not. I am not in no way that. I don't agree with that. I am not ever an enemy to me. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why would I be against me in any way? No, I'm not. And I'm not going to criticize me. I am going to critique. I'm going to have a sober and honest conversation, but I will never be classified as my own worst critic. Not never. Double negative. Love double negatives. All right. And so a self-love tool. Get some rest. Get some rest. Get some rest. The body needs rest. But we got a caller. Let's see who's calling in. Caller, you're on the line.
Yes. Well, I'm shocked and awed that I'm seeing this priestess bringing the news right in time for where I am. And I'm Sister Adelia. And I didn't get your name. I must have missed it in the beginning.
I'm Catherine James.
Oh, okay. And are you a coach or life coach or motivational?
I am all of those. I'm a licensed professional. I hold several degrees. One of them is a pastoral counseling degree, which enables me to be a licensed pastoral counselor. I have a psychology degree. I also serve as a transformational self-love coach or life coach. Yes.
Yeah. Well, you have to make sure you give us your full information before you go off the air, because I don't want to take up that time.
Okay.
You have the rest of your show to share. But I wanted to tell you that your timing for us trying to learn to love in this universe is on time.
Oh, thank
you.
It's
becoming such a challenge in my business to do this right this time, because I'm dealing with other cultures.
Okay.
As you may know.
Oh, yes.
And I'm learning how to supersede the surface of other cultures.
Okay.
Is becoming a challenge.
Okay.
My grandmother used to tell me love everybody, and she loved from Grosse Pointe to Mack Avenue. Trying to get there. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
But it's a challenge for me.
It's a challenge. It is. It's not an easy thing.
I look forward to hearing some more about your content, and I'm going to definitely pull your information and may even be in touch at some point.
Excellent. What's your name again?
My name is Sister Adelia.
Thank you so much for calling in. Absolutely, I agree with you, and I look forward to further connection.
And shalom to you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a wonderful call from our sister, and thank you for that call. Thank you for that engagement. I absolutely love life-giving engagement. And so when we think about tools, so we were talking about the idea of rest. So it's pretty easy to rest our body. We just stop movement. We stop engagement, and we can rejuvenate our body. But how easy is it to rest, to restore, rejuvenate, provide rest for our mind, for our heart, for our soul? That's more difficult. And so we want to make sure that we're feeding into ourselves. So again, as I've talked about in few months, these last few months had been very challenging for me. And so there was lots of pressures and weight and ongoing and just stuff, and more stuff. And so one of the things that give me life is that every morning when I get up, so I put up my Christmas decorations, they give me life. The lights, the beauty of it all, I take it in through my eye gates and I'm able to just receive it and experience it. And so I have them on at night. So when I wake up in the morning and I come downstairs, I'm greeted with feelings of joy, wonderful memories, anticipation of this Christmas, and just the beauty of it all. What is it that you can do for you that restores your soul? Right? That restores your soul. That restores, that gives peace to your mind. My peace is not up for negotiation. It is a non-negotiable element. It's not available for someone else's whatever. It's not available. So I am going to diligently restore my peace if it's has been interrupted. I'm going to diligently restore a place of calm. I am a master at compartmentalizing. Sometimes I'm a little bit too good at it. I will shut something down in a minute. See no evil, hear no evil, experience no evil. I will shut it down. Did you read that? Nope. Did you hear that? I did not. Did you have a conversation about that? And will not. Right? It works for me most of the time. Sometimes I stay in that place a little bit too long. So what does it take for you to love you well, to love you better, to love you consistently, to love you more? Self-love tip. It's easy to restore the body rest, but the mind and the heart, the soul takes a little bit more. So you may need to be more diligent about it. But for me, I'm inviting you to declare that the absence of peace is a non-negotiable for you. Caller, you're on the line.
Yes, I just want to say that I find peace through prayer. And I think if people just take the time in their day, even just once a day, just to pray, that they will find peace to whatever they believe in, but just prayer or just meditation. And I would just want to say that I wish everyone a happy and blessed day today.
Thank you. I appreciate you, caller. Did you want to share your name?
My name is Barbara's daughter, and she's listening, so she'll know who this is.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. Peace through prayer. Absolutely. I love it. I love it. And so the tangibles of it all, prayer, meditation, reading of the word, reading of other literature, nature, being out, looking up at the sky, the water, the grass. There's so many ways to get peace, but I love that. Peace through prayer. Talking to, I call God Papa. Me and Papa just communing, having conversation. Absolutely. I love that we got 2 calls today. That's wonderful. Thank you, ladies, for calling in. So our self-love mantra tells us that we are an irreplaceable, unrepeatable, remarkable miracle with our own special brand of brilliance. We are irreplaceable, unrepeatable, remarkable miracle with our own special brand of brilliance. Be sure to pick up our self-love. This is my seminal work, Self-Love, A Gift You Give Yourself. You can get that at any of our major books. And then we also have our latest book, Freedom is Our Birthright. So we invite you to get that. And that's my story about walking out through scarcity and the freedom that we can give ourselves by changing our thinking. And so I invite you to practice, engage, embrace the mantra. Our self-love mantra that you are irreplaceable, impossible to be replaced, unrepeatable, you cannot be done again. You are remarkable, you're uncommon and extraordinary. You are a miracle. Molly and Jonathan McReynolds say you're a miracle, right? That song. A surprising and welcomed event. Before we were formed, Papa knew us. and he called us, right? He called us for specific purposes. You and I are. Okay. You are invited to take action. Be in action towards being the best version of yourself. Be in action towards living fully out loud. Be in action towards giving yourself every possible chance to lean into the dream that Papa has for you and to walk out and fulfill that dream. This show invites you to that. This show. So you might be inspired, but if you're only inspired, that's only a 34% chance that you're going to walk something out. But if you create a plan, that's a 91% chance. If you create the plan and share that plan, it's a 99% chance that you are going to walk out that thing which you dreamed for yourself. So be in action. Let me know how I can help. You can reach me on any of the social medias, Dr. Catherine E. James. Go to social media. You'll find it Instagram. More love, please. Thank you. So that's our movement. We invite you to the movement. If you go to drcatherineejames.com, join the movement. We invite you to help us to spread the word, to add more love into the world. And so you're invited to be a donor. You can sponsor one of these shows for $150 and or $13 a month. Helps the movement to add more love into the world. Our goal is to get to 100 people who have been sponsors and or contributors by Christmas. What gift it would be with 100 people having made a commitment to add more love into the world. Okay. And let's see. So all of my social medias. Join me live every morning on Facebook Live from 5:40 to 6 a.m. Monday through Friday, where I have a live show. And of course, every Friday here, we either live or record it from 11:30 to noon. If I'm here, we're live. If I'm not, it's recorded. And I think that's it for all of the shows. So you can reach me in those ways. Remember, the conversations, tools, and strategies offered on this show is not intended for substitute for official mental health practice. If you're in need of service, be sure to seek out a mental health professional. I am, but not in this venue. And then finally, Dr. Martin Luther King said, what'd he say? He said, everybody can be great because everybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You don't have to know about Plato and Aristotle to serve. You don't have to know Einstein's theory of relativity to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics in physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. You can be that servant. Beloved, this has been Dr. Catherine E. James, serving you for the love of it at WHBR TV Detroit. I love you.
You know what? Excellence is what you want, and excellence is what you get. How are you living? What are you giving? If excellence is what you see, then excellent is who you be. What are you pursuing? It's all up to you. And when you come and make up in your mind that you want to be different, you can add to your faith one grain